There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything.
That power that can make a way out of no way.
Today, in the world, there's so much suffering because of that one of prayer.
Welcome to the main event.
Welcome, everybody, to the Prayer Revolution. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. My name is Doyal. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Vira. And we've been saying a morning prayer every day for the last few months, and we are going to keep on going. We say a morning prayer every day, and then we discuss what it means to bring the mood of prayer into our daily lives and live in that continuous state of connection to a higher power. And so we're glad you're here. Welcome. How you doing, Vera?
Doing great. Yeah, grateful. Rainy Florida days, and it's a nice kind of like that soothing, the soothing kind of aspect of the rain. So appreciating Mother Nature's soothing effect, and grateful to be with you guys another day. It's like deja vu. I'm like starting to get a little tripped out here.
Groundhog Day.
Who would have thought I would see all of you guys? So yeah, and all of you guys that are tuning in, grateful you guys are tuning in on Instagram and Zoom, and let's pause our day. Let's take an opportunity to reconnect, to set that clear intention. Set that clear intention with our day, not as something that it would be nice if we would experience this, but something that we're committed to, something that we are creating the flow through consciousness, through our intention. We're creating that flow that is bringing our consciousness to the qualities that we're seeking to awaken and to express from our heart, from our soul, and today, in this moment, to be able to express those. And so pause your day, whatever you're doing, close your eyes, put your palms together if that's something that feels resonant for you, connect to your breath, and open yourself up to receive. We are invoking a connection that has always been available. It's not a connection that's outside of ourselves. It's a connection that is always available from within our heart. And we forget that it's there. We forget our connection with our higher power. We forget that we're actually limitless spiritual beings. We're covered over with all different conditions, all different illusions of who we think we are. So we're pausing right now to reconnect. We're pausing right now in this moment to remember. My dear Lord, let us set this clear intention for our day. Whatever the intention may be in your hearts right now, we're all here together, we're all praying together, whatever that intention may be that's in our hearts. Let us know that keeping our consciousness fixed there in that intention, to be more grateful in our life, to experience the confidence that we may need in order to really live a life that's true to our hearts, to see the opportunities where right now maybe we're not seeing those opportunities. We're feeling in a box in life, feeling suppressed or compressed somehow. Help us to connect to the intention that actually we're limitless. Help us to connect to the intention that we're really looking to feel connected right now. We're looking to feel connected to ourselves, to you, to everybody that's around us, to feel that inherent connection that's within us. Whatever that intention may be, let us desire that strongly. Let it be a pure desire for our soul to awaken, that those qualities that we're seeking, that they are dormant right now within our hearts. And maybe we're experiencing them to some level as we pray and as we start to connect right now, we start to awaken them. Please help us to have that desire to live our life awakening our soul. And let us believe that it's possible. Let us believe right now that everything that we're seeking outside of ourselves, everything that we're seeking in our life, that we will experience it. We will experience it. And that you're a power that you can move anything, that you can illuminate our consciousness in just a moment. If that's what we're really seeking, if that's what we're really desiring, that you have the power to help to clear those veils so that we can see clearly. We can see our true self clearly. We can connect to you. We can connect to everybody else, seeing their true nature as well. So whatever our intentions are today, let us not see that it's some obstacle that we've got to do so many things to be able to experience it and connect with it. But let us see that right now, in union and connection with our higher power, that actually that's the nature of our soul. That which we're seeking, the experience which we're seeking underneath everything that we do, those qualities are inherent within our heart right now. Whatever that is that you're seeking, being clear about why you're seeking it. Why is it that you're seeking what you're seeking? And may, whatever the reason be, may it be something that helps to awaken our soul even more and express the love that we have within our souls a little bit more in our life. So grateful right now just to be able to connect, to be able to have this dialogue, to be able to give energy and connection to this dialogue. So grateful for that opportunity. And please help us to know everything that we're seeking right now. Help us to know that it's found in our connection with you as we awaken our sleeping souls. And call out your names, your beautiful divine names every single day. They're a catalyst for us awakening our soul. They're a catalyst for us reconnecting to you. As we pray, as we call out your names, these are catalysts for that awakening. So we call out in that mood, in the mood knowing that when I call out your names, that I'm with you in an embrace. I'm with you right now in this moment. We're sitting together, our hearts are connected. And we call out these names in that intention, with that mood. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you, Doyal. Thank you, guys and girls.
Feeling your energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah. Just giving energy to it. So it's amazing because in prayer, it's like, there's like, just it's not perfect. It's not like some composed perfect thing, and it's just it's energy, right? It's like, okay, I'm giving energy. I'm giving energy to a relationship. Trying to give, 100%, trying to give my full presence to this relationship. And I notice it as I'm praying. I'm like, there's a voice, there's the judgment, there's that voice that's there in the back, that's used to being predominant, it's used to kind of being the main narrating, loudest voice that's there in the head. What are you talking about? Like whatever, it just comes in and as I'm praying, it's like, okay, it's there, I'm aware of it, I'm not giving into it, but just noticing that and noticing how every one of us is either has built a really, really good relationship with that voice in our head, that we're actually able to dialogue with and be aware of, and or it's running our life, or it's totally running our life. It's literally writing the script of our life, and therefore, like, giving us the positive or the negative experience of our life. So so in the prayer today, just that, starting with intention, like us coming back to that, like it's like, I want that for us so much. I want that for my own life. I want that for my own life, and I want that for us so much, that I'm not starting from the foundation of all these limiting beliefs and untrue stories and false self, not starting from that foundation, and then it's like from all of that lacking and all those fears and all of the not feeling complete, not feeling whole, and now I'm like being thrust into action to somehow or other make myself whole. And it's like, it's just such a it's such a place of despair, and that nothing will satisfy it. Nothing will complete us from that foundation, you know, from the foundation that I'm incomplete, I'm broken, I've got issues, I've got problems, you know, I will never be happy, you know, I'm not good enough, you know. From that voice, I will never experience wholeness if that's the foundation, you know. And so, yeah, just recognizing that in my own life and just knowing how much that voice has, like, wow, either, you know, how much when it's in the driver's seat, you know, when the mind, the conditioned mind and the false ego, when that is allowed to reign supreme and control the driver's seat of my life, man, what a state of suffering. What a state, you know. What a struggle, you know. And so, yeah, that's, you know, the basis of the prayer today is, like, you know, to be able to connect. And, you know, a lot of what we're talking about right now, we're doing a training right now, lifestyle transformation training. And today, a lot of what we're going to be talking about is that topic, is how to start from that place of being, how to start from that place of truth through our prayer, through our meditation, through our spiritual connection. There's so much limit. There's so many limits, so many limitations of the mind and the body and our conditioned self. And if we're living just based on those assumptions unconsciously, it can ruin our life, you know. Just sucks away the potential for transformation and for awakening and for, you know, a real empowered, you know, experience right now in our life. So wanting that for all of us, wanting that for us, you know, right now, to know that that's possible, you know, to know that through our prayer, through entering into that state of being, through connecting with the nature of the soul, through prayer, through meditation, through calling out the names of God, through selfless service, connecting to the nature of the soul and really going in with that intention and really believing it's possible to awaken that, I can start to feel that as a foundation of my life, and bring that in every single moment of my life. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was you reminded me of I've been doing some research recently on this idea of this concept developed by this man Robert Fritz called structural thinking. And it's used in organizations, also used in personalities. But he said the first idea of approaching a situation, he said step one is start with nothing. And that usually there's this whole idea that when we see something, we're immediately comparing it to something else we've experienced in our life. We do that in relationships. I see I start to get to know somebody. Immediately, okay, this is like this is like my family relationship or my past ex or this or that, or I start to bring in my frame of references to understand what's happening here. And he said that what it does is it immediately starts to mold the experience to recreate patterns of the past, as opposed to being completely open to what actually is. You know what I mean? And he was even referencing things like even color. Like you look across the way, what do I see? Oh, I see a brick wall. It's like, actually, no, you see red, or you see, you know, your brain starts to fill in the gaps of what's actually there. So the same way that our vision works, the same way our mind works, you know. And so what I'm hearing you saying, it's like, let's reset that preconceived notion of how things are, whether it's a defeated sense of self or really a defeated sense of self, is eliminating that defeated sense of self and starting with a new perspective, or even starting with nothing, and then allowing ourselves to actually see who we really are and be brought into a new way of looking at situations. But it's like the first step is actually kind of letting go of what we're bringing to the table.
Right. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one, you know, to be able to pause. And it's so much I appreciate about, you know, the Buddhist traditions, you know, recognizing, being able to witness the thinker, you know, to be able to see the thinking mind. Such a powerful practice to be able to create the distinction, you know, like to be able to see the mind and to cultivate the practice of recognizing that we're not that voice, you know. Those thoughts are constantly fluctuating, constantly changing, and based off of our conditioning. And to be able, like you're talking about in structural thinking, to be able to come back to that place of, you know, let's come back to a place of equilibrium, you know, not that I'm starting from that frenetic state, you know, and then And then, okay, then the Bhakti teachings have given us this great boon of the nature of the soul.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, okay, let me pause, like let the waves of my mind, let me breathe. Let me just be aware of those thoughts. Let me not grab onto them. Let me actually be present. And from that state of presence, now let me remind myself of the nature of my soul. Let's go into a meditation on the qualities of the soul, right? And, you know?
I have a barking dog in my background. I'm sorry.
we didn't notice that.
He's just doing his thing. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah,
Vera,
there we go, right now.
you keep going, Vera. I'm gonna go take care of this.
We got
I'll be
victory
right
and joy.
back.
That's the key. Okay, Doyal. Okay. We can still hear you, Doyal, just so you know. Okay. So Martha's paintings, I always appreciate, Martha, thank you so much for you always share such uplifting comments on Instagram. Be true to yourself. The reward will be priceless. Be kind to each other. The response will be endless. Be you and be real. The time is now and here. We have an opportunity right now. You know, we've been going into it in our practice, in the training we're doing right now, to actually meditate on the qualities of the soul, to take time to breathe, to really go deep into just let's let go of whatever narration is going on, whatever thought, positive or negative, whatever identity, whatever mask, like just to, okay, may come up, those emotions may come up, those thoughts may come up, just experience them without attaching to them. Just allow for them to just flow through our body, through our mind. And then to invoke, to call in. The Bhagavad Gita gives so many narrations of the nature of the soul, or we read in different spiritual teachings, the nature of the soul, to then go into a meditation on the nature of the soul, that I'm eternal. So any fear that I experience in this life, the fear ultimately of dying, that fear is actually based on an illusion that I could die because I'm eternal, you know, or the unhappiness that I'm feeling, you know, that I feel disconnected, I feel unhappy, I feel separated from my beloved, and that unhappiness that I'm feeling, the nature of my soul is blissful. And if I can just see, whoa, okay, the emotion of sadness, if I could see that and witness that and not judge it, or if I could see my mind and its cravings and its longings to find something outside to complete us, I can see that and witness that and actually be present with that, and then invoke the qualities of the soul, then it's like, okay, now let's stay with that cycle. Anytime that illusion comes up, we got to pause. We got to take that time. You know, and I was recognizing it this morning. I was doing a walking meditation, went to watch the sunrise on the top of a hill. And I've been working with some new content for our training today. And I kind of, you know, we had an awesome training we did in March, and it was great. People were appreciating it. And I kind of felt like it was a little kind of like focused on the external, you know, and I was like, no, let's go in a little bit deeper. Like, let's go into some of those limiting beliefs. And one of those limiting beliefs was coming up for me today was I wasn't prepared, right? It was just, I was present to that. I was like, I'm not prepared. You know, and I've given time, I've given energy to it. I've spent hours working on it. I'm like, I'm not prepared. And I'm feeling that. And I was just noticing that what that thought was doing is, if I wasn't conscious to it, I was going into a state of anxiety. I was going into a state of fear. I was going into a state of like, I'm not prepared. And if I don't deliver, then like, I'm not, you know, like there's something wrong with me. Like there's something inherently that I'm not. It's like, oh, whoa, okay. Like, no, that's not the truth. The truth, let me take a deep breath. No, let me actually go into the intention. No, I'm showing up 100% to this. I'm giving all the energy I possibly can. And I know I'm not the doer. That's the intention, right? I know I'm not the doer, and I could be a vessel, and I could be an instrument. And I've come prepared, you know? And that however you want to work in the lives of all these people, that's you and them. That has nothing to do with me. But I'm showing up 100%, and I know the consciousness that I'm bringing to the table, and I know I put the time and energy into preparing for it. Like, that's the truth. That's the intention. That's the empowering reality of it, right? But that thought, man, if that thought just goes a little bit, if it's just a little untamed, if it's a little unconscious, then all of a sudden I'm nervous, and I'm feeling fear and anxiety. And it's, you know, that's one little example of it. And And I just was like, man, I gotta pause. We gotta be able to see that. If we don't see that, if we don't shed light on our unconscious, it becomes our fate. It becomes our fate in life, and that's what we see it. Oh, it's fate. It's like, no, I'm letting my unconscious self run my life. And so the importance, the importance of being able to pause, to be able to take that deep breath when we're feeling whatever we are feeling, whatever negativity may be flashing through our mind, to be able to bring awareness to it, to be able to pause, to be able to breathe, to be able to notice it, and then to be able to come back to that free will of choice. How am I choosing to go forward, in a conscious way? And that is like, if we're doing that in our life, my God, every single moment in our life becomes a catalyst for transformation. If we're doing that in our life, every single moment becomes this incredible opportunity. And that is the most challenging thing that any one of us will do in our life. It's simple, but man, it will test us, right? To be present with those emotions when they just want to override everything, or to be present with those negative thoughts, or maybe they're not even negative, but it's just a box that we've put ourselves in. To be conscious of that, to question that, and to be able to consciously come back to what is the nature of my true self, my limitless self. How can I come from that foundation in whatever I do in my life? Mm-hmm.
Loving it. I was thinking you were talking about like getting rid of that clutter of the mind, and from that place seeing my true self. That something my wife loves so much about nature, which a lot of people do, is just being able to see the stars. And she remembers she studied abroad in Costa Rica for a year, and she said that she just like never saw so many stars as some of the nights she was there on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because the stars, you don't have to go anywhere to see the stars. You just have to go to a place where it's not like certain place on the planet you can see more stars. I mean, necessarily, you have to just go places where there's less light pollution. You know what I mean? Because the stars are there. There's so much light pollution that's just preventing us from seeing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw recently, it was a meme when COVID first hit. It was Where's Waldo, and it had a Waldo sitting. He was on a street somewhere in a big city, but it was like completely empty. There was nothing on the street, and he was just there alone on the street. It was like just him in this empty picture, and the caption was, "Not so easy, not so hard to find now, are you, buddy?" Because it's quarantine. Like no one's on the street, everything's closed, no one's around, everything's empty, and it's just Waldo on a street by himself. It's like, not so hard to find now, are you, buddy? And so it's kind of like that's the journey of finding the self. It's like it's so hard to find when there's so much other crap in our life that is creating noise pollution and light pollution. But when things quiet down enough, it's actually very easy to see, just like the stars when there's less light pollution, or just like Waldo during quarantine. It's very easy to see. It's there, but it's not that we need it to shine brighter. We don't need the stars to shine brighter. We need to get rid of light pollution. We don't need Waldo to like wear a brighter shirt. We just need to get rid of all the things that are normally there, making the busy distractions. And so I was just kind of thinking that like that's the process of spiritual life, and that's the opportunity we have in prayer. Is like, okay, I'm going to try to put aside all that other garbage and distraction and noise. And that's why I think sometimes yoga philosophy can seem so down sometimes on like material enjoyment or this and that. It's not like we're like getting down on things. It's just like these things are just noise. Like it's distraction from actually seeing yourself. So why would you want that? And then once you see yourself, it's kind of like once you find Waldo, you can't unfind him. You ever seen that? Once you see something, you can't unfind it. So once you see yourself, then everything else can be seen in context. Everything else can be seen in context. And then it starts to have value. It's not that you have to get rid of everything, but then see that first. Find Waldo first.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Yes, Doyle. Yes, let's find Waldo first. Find ourselves first, and from there, I love it because, Bhakti and yoga, Bhakti yoga philosophy. It's not about eliminating, right? It's not a path of don't do these things. Get yourself in a cave. Get yourself in the forest, and that's the only way that you can connect to clear your mind. And that's not what's being asked of us. And yes, there are environments where we can connect more deeply to ourselves with more ease, right? And then ultimately we're connecting no matter where we are. We're connecting no matter what's coming up, the emotion that comes up, the thoughts that come up, the people that come up, the slow walkers in New York, the fast walkers, the pups barking in the background, the stressful day at work, the child that won't stop crying, you know, all of those are those catalysts. Every single person, thing, every emotion, thought is that catalyst. It's a catalyst to remember, right? When we are looking for ourselves, when that's the aim, we're looking for ourselves, we're looking to see things in connection to a higher power. Every aspect of our life is connected. And that's, you know, that is the empowered state of being that we're all seeking. Not that it's in some temple or it's only there. It's only when I'm in India. It's only when I have this 2 hours of no distraction and meditation. Yes, give ourselves those absorbing experiences and environments. And also, like, let's see how everything in our life, let's see how we can make it a catalyst to remind us of God, to remind us of the limitless nature of our soul. Because we'll be tested for sure. We'll get those tests. We'll get those tests today. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them in like 5 minutes. You're gonna they will come. You know, and
I got one right now on my lap.
Right. Yeah. Totally. And it's like, okay, the pop on the. It's like whatever it is. Okay, the catalyst. You know, the catalyst for that remembering your unlimited loving nature as a puppy papa.
I can't let him down because he's gonna go pee somewhere, so I have to wait and then.
And he's gonna eat your headphones. And he's gonna pee on
already
your
done that, so
computer.
All right, everybody. We love you so much. We are glad that you're here with us every day. Thank you so much, Vira. Thank you so much to everybody. I'm seeing Bhakti Louie here on the screen. I love that Bhakti Louie has a snuggle bunny pit bull that just kind of, he's the only guy I know has a pit bull that's a snuggle bunny. Yeah.
He's got 2 snuggle pit bulls.
2 snuggle pit bulls. We love you guys so much. We're here every day, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you missed us live, go to our recording platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of them, wherever it is. Go there, subscribe, leave us a rating. We love hearing from you guys. If you ever want to keep in touch, ask us questions, give feedback, write to us at prayerrevolution@bhakticenter.org. We love you guys. And tune in to bhakticenter.org/online for all our great offerings. Anything else, Vira?
I'll just get my stretch on, you know.
Getting your stretch on, get it going, get it reeling. Love you guys so much.
Yes, looking forward to you guys that are tuning in online. See some of you guys that are joining us for at 10 a.m. for our course. Looking forward to being with you guys and taking our life to the next level. And all of you guys that are online, I hope someday that you'll come join us for the lifestyle training. It's such a joy just to be in the process with the community. Anybody, whether it's a person or it's, you know, a bunch of people, it's just a life enriching process. So
beautiful.
Hope we can have you sometime.
Please join Vira. I see our good friend Sukhanti Gaurangi's on. She's heading up the Lotus Room on Instagram. She's got a wholesome life series going on about how to live a sattvic, wholesome spiritual lifestyle. Tips there. Go check her out on the Lotus Room on Instagram. Jeff has taken, I think, your lifestyle training for the second time.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just coming back for more.
Yeah.
Love you guys all so much. Thank you, Satya. You're amazing. Thank you, all these beautiful souls. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hari Hari.